What's going on, my friends? It is the Beard here, and today we are back once again in fishing the Barents Sea. That's right, we are back here in the ever-deep reaches of the vast ocean in the Barents Sea on the lunar bow today to cover a little bit of a tutorial on what I have picked up on the trawling in this fantastic game. Now we're going to get down to this right away, guys. We're not going to take too long, but first I do want to say we've had nothing but support from you guys towards this game. It has been so well received here on the channel, and I want to thank you for that. And a lot of you have asked for me to share what I have learned about the trawling. Now, I have spent some time researching it. I have spoken to some of our valued community members, such as Mr. Ronas Bloodsmith himself, who has spent a lot of time researching this as well. We've compared notes. He's shown me how he does it. There's a couple videos out there, one by Ronas and one by Krampus, I believe. And he does it a little bit differently, and we're going to cover one method today. I will do another method upon request. I just need to test it a little more, as I haven't been very successful with it. This seems to be the way that I'm getting the most fish, and I am, in fact, making money once again. So, without further ado, let's get down to the trawling tutorial. Okay, guys, so we have to set things up a certain way. Now, when we're here in the captain's seat, check it out, I am a skipper of this here vessel. We have our displays. Now, we're going to want to keep the navigation up. Very important, because it shows your knots, what sort of speed you're doing here. We want to have this display up. This is your symmetry. This is how the net is laid out, and that is also very important, and we're going to touch base on that as well. And then, of course, we want to see our net, how much we have in it. Now, this is not current. I've already hauled it in, but until I reset it, that's what's going to show. Okay, so you can see down here, we have 275 meters below us. We are not currently moving, so we will. We're going to go ahead and just give her a little bit of juice, get it moving. Won't get the speed just yet. We're going to get up and move back to the old action seat where things happen. That's right. And we'll do this step by step, and I will pass along what I have learned. There might be a different way to do it. I'm not saying that this is the best way, but it certainly works, and I am making money. And hopefully it helps you out as well, because I know there has been a lot of questions on it out there. First thing, obviously, we get our crew set on the trawler. We get them set on the trawler. They're set to trawl, so they're going to put the nets out for us. Pretty straightforward. So first off, you can see everything is blacked out here, or redded out, I should say. We're going to get our speed up. We're going to get this to about between 2 and 3 knots. This method requires you to keep it at about just under the 3 knot mark. I know the tutorial says 4, but in order to keep the symmetry of our net, this is pretty much how it's going to fly. So I'll do my best here, and hopefully, we get it all here and everything goes just fantastic, rather swimmingly. So let's make sure our speed, we're at 1 knot, so we can go ahead and drop that now. Okay, crew is all in position, so we'll go ahead and set our trawl net now. You'll see it jump off the side in the back. Now we're going to make sure that our speed is up. You can see we're at about 2.7 knots. We'll try and hold it right around there as we drop it into the water. Now, very important, guys, if you take a look at how I have this set up, we have our depth 2 and depth main. This is our starboard door and our port door. I've swapped them around due to the controls, but obviously this is on our right side. This is on our left side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop this down. We're going to try and work on our symmetry on our net. Now, as you can see, we're already going through some fish here. We're already getting the fish in. That's what your hawk is down here, your heads up. It's showing that we have 9 fish entering. That's at a rate of 9 fish. That is fantastic. That is what we want. You want to see that number, the higher the better. Okay, and we're again watching our speed. We're going to drop this down just a little bit. See if we can get her back in a little bit. Now we're going to watch our distance over here. I do have the length, only the one side out right now. I quite often have both set up, and that is important. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and lock this off in just a moment's time. We'll start with the port side right now. Okay, we're going to let this side run out. Now, there needs to be a little bit of a difference for this method in between there. We want to shoot for about 150, so we're going to lock that in right now. And we'll let it continue to grab whatever fish we're getting there. We are getting 9 at the moment, so we'll hold it here and hold her steady. Now, while that's happening and things settle in, we'll move to the front, and I'll show you what it is you need to keep an eye on here. Okay, now you can see this is our net symmetry. It's a little out of whack at the moment, and we're going to go and tweak that, but you can see how it's green. Okay, when it's green, you will catch the most fish. As long as this is somewhat open, you will catch fish. And I mean, obviously, that's what we want. That's why we're here. Come on, Beard. What else are we gonna do? So, I think we're about done filling up. So we're gonna go back and work on our symmetry now. Very important, my friends. With this method, you want these numbers to be apart. Okay, so we want this at about 150. So we're gonna tweak it a little. We're gonna pull this in just a little bit, and we're gonna deploy this just a little bit, not by much. We'll stop this at about the 52, I would say. And we're going to run the other side up to about 72. Okay, we'll go ahead and drop that now. As long as it's close, it doesn't have to be bang on. Okay, so our distance between the doors. Now, this is important, okay? Here's your starboard door, your port door. This is this distance in between. We have 150 meters of catch space. Our net is pulled in behind here. Okay, we're still catching the fish. We've barely had this in the water. Now, there's a few things that I do differently, and that is because I'm trying to get my skill up. I'm only going to let this fill. As you can see, I only have the sensors up to 20%. I'm only going to let this fill up to the 20% mark, and then I'm going to redeploy it. I'm going to reel it in, get my catch, and then I'm going to redeploy it. And the reason for that is the game was cruel to me, and we'll go ahead and drop them back. You can see the low levels on all these guys. I had max level guys. For those of you that were watching our previous series that we've done here, I had some very high level guys. George was level 99. I had a level 96, and they just disappeared. So I don't know if they mutinied, if they just decided to quit. Nonetheless, so you can see now we're 150 between. We're, give or take, I generally shoot for about 20 meters in depth difference, but sometimes it works out like this. This is what's important, the 150, and I'll show you why. We're going to jump up front here. Look at our symmetry. We might have to tweak it a little more. And you do constantly have to tweak. Now, you see how far out that is. That's because it is so far apart on our depth. It's these two in the back. These are our two doors, port and starboard. Okay, this is the connection to the boat. Okay, this is our headline. All right, now we're going to just do our best. Oh, I didn't mean to flip that out. Let's go back. Ooh, a fish. Nice. Ha ha. We're going to go back to there. There it is. All right, let's go take a look at it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep it around the 150, but part of that is because of our speed. So we'll get it back up to just a little over 2. I've hit the up button, the W key. I'm not using my arrow keys, which adjusts this guy. That is temporary. It'll move them ever so slightly, but it's not a permanent fix. You need to get your symmetry right. So we're going to go ahead and reel this guy in a little bit. Now, we want to get it down to close to about 80, but that's going to adjust this. So sometimes this doesn't sit quite at 150. So we'll keep it as close as we can. Sometimes, I found that the magic numbers were about 50 and 70. I went a little past here, but you can often make it work. And by going a little further past, it drops it farther into the water. So let's go ahead and lock that in now. We'll go take a look at our symmetry up front and see if we are in fact close, as we want to keep that net in the green. Okay, so we're looking a whole lot better. You see how much that's adjusted. So as you can see, guys, tweaking will adjust it. Your symmetry and how you adjust your depth is going to adjust this guy on my pointer finger right here. Okay, this one is adjusted by your speed. Watch, I'm going to throttle up a wee bit. If I throttle up a lot, it'll move faster. There you go. There we go. Now we'll get it to sit right about 2.6. You don't want to go much over 3 doing this method. And it works. It really does. I've been making a lot of money at it this way, and it's certainly working. I mean, the boat is just filthy. Look at it. That's another thing I wanted to say. I fast-forwarded my time. I was stuck in October, and I worked all the way through to November, and then I tried moving up to December, and, I just wasn't having luck. Some of the fish just weren't around as much, and I haven't tested that, and I will, and I'll get back to you guys later with what I discover. However, I'm here in May, and we're catching a whole lot of fish again. So there it is. Okay, so our speed is way down, and sometimes that'll happen as you pull fish into the net, especially if you're getting a fair amount of fish. So it is definitely climbing. We're going to run to the back. Now you can adjust your speed from here, but you can't look at the symmetry back here, which is a little bit of a pain. Okay, how are we doing? No fish currently entering. We're up to 2.2 knots. We're staggered roughly 20 apart, and our opening is only 130. So the magic number seems to be 50 and 70. If you get it at 50 and 70, you'll have a 150 gap, which is quite a big opening. Now, another thing you can do is you can steer your boat. So it's backwards if you're looking at it from here. If I want to go left, I push right. If I want to go right, I push left. That's about it, guys. That's about it for this method. Mess around with it, okay? What I've been doing is getting close to where I am now, and then going ahead and reeling in, getting my crew some experience, because when you get to the Hermes, you're gonna have to have a crack crew. These guys were garbage. They were low 40s when I got them. The net hauling was down where the cooking is on this guy right now. So we're gonna go ahead and move them into the hull section. Use the same guys. Get that net hauling up. You're gonna need it. It's very important. So these were the crew that I was using. This is my cook, and he does all my repairs. And if you feed them in between shifts, their stamina goes up, they work a whole lot better, and it's just a great scenario. So we're going to let this come in. I'm sure you know how to do this part, my friends, but this is how we will wrap the video up. I hope you found this useful. I know I certainly have. Everything was by chance previously, and I just was not having much success. I am now at least making money since I've employed this method. I've made a couple mil, and that's with literally as soon as I got this down, I've done one catch to market, and I wasn't even full. I wanted to get it in, get some money, get back out here and show you guys, because it's been a whole lot of messing around trying to figure this out so that we could put a video out there to help everybody. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I do know of one other method, and I will do another video. It'll probably be a few days' time before I get a chance to do that. If you are interested in learning more, or you want to hang out with people that like this game, come and join my link in the description down below for our Discord. We have a fantastic gaming community. It's based around the simulation genre, everything from hunting to fishing to commercial fishing. So come on and jump in, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you're new here, hit the little bell beside it. Do it with two hands if you gotta, and that way you'll keep up to date in everything that we do here on the channel. I'm the Beard, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time. Until then, keep those nets a trawling and your gas tank full, and we'll catch you next time. All right.